Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm going to go over a coin called, I'm Greg. I'm going to go over a coin called Hex, controversial coin type deal right here. I don't care really, guys. I'm going to go over the charts, at the end of the deal. And at the end of the day, I should say, not the end of the deal. What am I thinking today? I need more coffee, right? Cryptocurrency market needs more coffee too. Looks like all the assets need to take Bitcoin over here. I'm going to show you something with Bitcoin. Bitcoin over here looks like it needs to take about 10 espresso shots. The real stuff. You know what I'm talking about? That they put in that little tiny cup. You don't see that in the United States. For those of United States, they drink these like cups of coffee with like a bunch of foam on top, this stuff on top, all those other things, right? Not espresso. I'm talking about the real deal. It needs like 10 shots of that stuff to be able to get going with Bitcoin. But here's what I'm going to do with Hex, guys. So some people, they look at the Hex chart and they have a concern because at the bottom, they think the bottom's over here. I'm just going to let somebody know you don't know about Hex. You got to go to another chart. It's called the Uniswap version 2 chart. Hex's bottom is like way down here, guys. It's like this. Let me take it off. It's like way over here, guys. Where does it start? Like way over here. Let me take it off log. I'll show you. Hex's chart. This is the fourth wave. So Hex is like, it has a big, let me clean this up a little bit. Hold on. Hex's chart, it's not down that low, but this thing, it started way over here. This is a fourth wave. Okay. That's why I have that. Yeah, I put this A, B, C, D, E on there for you guys. I went over it because there's a big discussion in the Hex community, and they're saying this is a fourth wave, and likely this is not a fourth wave. This is a second wave for Hex. Okay, it's correcting in the second wave. This is the fourth wave, and this is a FOMO fifth wave. So on Hex's fifth wave alone, the last wave, it did 14,000%. Okay. Which is more or less about 140x. So that was just the FOMO fifth wave, okay, that Hex did. There's you don't see the first wave and the second and then the third. This is a fourth wave, okay, a fourth wave triangle, and boom. And Hex is coming on top of this fourth wave more than likely with 1.013 definitely serious support that Hex has. Hex has serious support at 0.013 cents. Okay. Serious support, like concrete support. This is like concrete. This section right here on Hex is like concrete. Okay. It's like a bomb shelter for it. If it gets through there, I would be surprised, but it could. Here's the thing I want to show you too, like, okay, on Hex. All right. All right. Now I'm being impartial as I can with Hex, guys. I'm not going to be the Hex fan, but I'm not going to be a naysayer. I'm just going to go off the charts. I'm trying to be like, like the Terminator and just not even, be just like a machine and just look at it reasonably. Okay. So here's Hex chart. All right. Take a look at that chart. All right. Here's Bitcoin's chart off a log. You see? Down, bounce, right there, just like this. So it came down, correction, bounce, correction, bounce, little bounce, and it's coming down to finish something. Here's Hex. Right here. You see? Down, bounce, down, a little bit of bounce, down, bounce, and it's coming in to finish that correction right there. Okay? So that's what I think. It's following Bitcoin pretty much to a T. It's really not much difference between Bitcoin and Hex. It's an asset that went up and now it's in a correction. And then what's it going to do over here remains to be seen. Okay. At the end of the day, as long as an asset has more buyers than sellers, it goes up. If it has more sellers than buyers, it goes down. That's it. Okay. It's all basically, for the most part, people talk about Ponzi-nomics and everything. Well, at the end of the day, guys, look at this. Here's the deal. If you have a business and you have a product, it doesn't have enough customers, you have these customers, not enough customers, right? You need more customers to be able to sell that stuff, right? If you don't get them, then what happens? The business slowly goes out of business. Or, hey, take a look at the governments, right? If they don't get enough people, okay, then they don't have enough tax paying base. Or the people at the top, there's more people at the top than there are at the bottom. A perfect example of that is some other countries outside the United States, is like Japan, or maybe I think right now Germany's having a serious problem with it. Okay. Another really good example, if you take a look at that, is the area of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has some serious problems. That's why you go down there and you get tax benefits, because they're so desperate for people over there. They need more people to be able to pay those taxes. It's based on the same type of idea. Okay. Basically the same type of idea. You know, these people to be able to buy that product or service, and then they get revenue. If you don't have those people, well, then you don't have the revenue. It's sort of same concept here with this. More buyers goes up, more sellers goes down. Very, very simple. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm going to go over Hex and go over this correction with it. And Puerto Rico, if you take a look at Puerto Rico, guys, it's really, really in a sad situation with Puerto Rico. I've looked into it. I was wondering why I had all those tax benefits, and it makes sense to me because Puerto Rico's birth rate right now is 1.0, guys. It's 1.0. So basically with Puerto Rico is such a sad situation with its not being able to get people. If it didn't have anybody traveling to Puerto Rico to go live there to take advantage of those tax benefits that they have, then Puerto Rico would probably cease to exist in like 100 years. Seriously, it would. That's how bad it is. 1.0 birth rate. I guess they're not having families and having babies there, guys. So I won't go too much further than that. You know the reason for that, more than likely. So that's their problem, and the only reason they can exist is because the federal government is sending them money to be able to help them exist. They're probably going to have to do a lot more drastic measures to get things going there in Puerto Rico. And I've been there a few times too. Very, very nice area, guys. It's a very nice area. I don't have any issue with the Puerto Rican people at all. So it's actually a pretty nice area. So here's the deal with it, with Hex, guys. I have it on this chart. And let me go to a 12-hour chart. I think I got my numbers on there. Yes, I do. I have my numbers on here. So it looks pretty good. Let me take off that volume indicator for right now. Okay. So this is the nice thing about Hex, is that I think it's coming down into an ending diagonal. Finish it up, kind of like what I'm saying about Bitcoin, guys. Okay. So you can see a similar pattern. A lot of assets are doing the same thing as Bitcoin is, right down into this area. Okay. So the other good thing about Hex is that in this 8-hour chart that I have it on, that 8-hour, let me go to 12-hour chart is how deep the RSI went in the daily, and the 12-hour, and also the 3-day chart, and I think the weekly too. So it came down real aggressive into this wave. You can see right here, correction, and boom, nice sell-off to reset a cycle. Okay, in my opinion, that's nice. So that's what you wanted to see. That was a concern with mine with Hex, is not seeing that RSI get down there very much. But here's this 3-wave swing, a 3-wave swing. I think this whole thing, it went down in this swing, correction, back in that swing for a 3rd wave. And where this 4th wave is going to end up, who knows? It could be there. But I'm going to put it right there for now. Okay. It could be something like this too, you know, so just don't know yet. So I'm going to just leave it right there for now. So 4th wave bounce potentially, and then it could come back down into a 5th wave. That's what I'm going to guess. Like I said, the area of support is 0.015, 0.013, and then it could have a wick down to 0.010. It's going to be very, very difficult for Hex to bust through this area, guys, I think, in my opinion. And then over here will be either the end of the correction, or it's going to do another massive bounce. There's nobody can tell you that this is going to go into some sort of 3rd wave yet. Okay. You're just not going to know. It could be a massive bounce. Same thing with Bitcoin, guys. It's coming down, and nobody knows what's going to be going on over here. Is it going to bounce only to make another massive correction over here? Or is it just a bounce and come down into a 2nd wave like so? Okay. With the macro environment and everything, just going over Bitcoin, is that it could go up, and it might not be that dynamic of a wave. It might only go to like 25, maybe 30,000, and then it's going to do a massive correction again for 2023, guys. However, this area right here, if you think about that area right there, is going to be huge to make some serious gains. Because if you remember right over here, it was pretty huge to make some serious gains. You just have to make sure that you're in the right asset for those gains to happen. Okay. Looking at the fundamentals, you know, yeah, I want to be a fundamentalist with some of the coins, you know, but that's how I was with Solana. That's why I was bullish, so much more bullish on Solana, is because the fundamentals behind it was really, really strong. But look what happened to Solana. It didn't work. It just didn't work. It got crushed. Now, I'm not saying Solana can't recover. I think that it's going to, but it's going to, take it a little bit more time. So going back over to Hex, this is just the area. It's going to be very difficult to get a target on Hex in this pattern that it's making, guys. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's done. It's certainly in an ending diagonal to come finish something. Okay. That's what ending diagonal or a descending wedge. And it's making 3-wave moves telling you that that's the end. So in an ending diagonal or an ending wedge coming down, they need to be 3-wave moves. 3-wave moves, not impulses. And you can clearly see right here with Hex, down, up, boom, 3-wave move, back up for a 2, down, 3-wave move, and then boom. So this whole thing right here is the correction, up, and then boom. So a 3-wave move, and then probably a little move here, and then another 3-wave move back down for Hex. And that should, it's going to end something right there. It's going to end something right here. And what is it going to do over there? Remains to be seen, guys. Just going to be a little bit more time. The macro environment. Let's see, there's going to be 2 more rate hikes, more than likely. At least that's what the market is saying. So the market is saying 2 more rate hikes, 1 in February, 1 in March. And then what is the Fed going to do? So you got, let's say this is February, and then you got March, right? Rate hike, 50, maybe 25, or maybe 25, 25. And then you're going to have a pause. So then the Fed's going to do what? A pause, not a pivot, a pause. Okay. It's going to do a pause, and then assets will be able to go up on the pause. And when they do the pivot, okay, they're going to lower rates, and the assets are going to correct, is what I would suspect is going to happen with the markets, guys. Okay. So you want to be aware of that. Same thing with Bitcoin. Up, pause. Okay. I'm just saying as an example, that's what I'm kind of expecting. Up in a wave, pause, right? We'll pause down here and then up, and then Fed will do a pivot. It will do a pivot somewhere wherever Bitcoin ends up, and then it'll do another correction. Okay. So that's what I would expect with Bitcoin, guys, and the cryptocurrency market. So, and the same thing with Hex. I think it's pretty straightforward at this point. It's coming together right now. When Hex was here, and then it bounced here, and then it did this, and I was, it's trying to like, okay, what is it doing? And now it's starting to make a nice descending wedge. And you take it off log. Once again, I'll show it to you again. Take a look at that. It's coming down nice. Let me check it on the check everything on the daily. You see that? That's it took everything out over to there. So this over here took all that out. So that's a pretty good signal. Check that on the 3-day chart. That's a pretty decent signal right there, guys. Taking everything out. I mean, it's still bearish. Don't get me wrong. It's still bearish. Let me go to a 2-week MACD. Take a look at Hex. Let's see. Hex is working on making a bullish cross, slowing of momentum, and working on that bullish cross. Okay. So it's coming to end something soon, guys. Who knows? 30 days, 60 days, could be 90 days, or maybe even 120 days. If you made all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.